makes the job of understanding the product much smoother and easy, right? And I'm very thankful to the community for providing me the opportunity to share my knowledge on Business Central, right? So so let's get started for the today's session, right? So my today's session is on like working with the inventory, sales, purchase analysis, in the Business Central, right? So uh, yeah, so often we have seen that uh, department controllers requires report and in different format and personalized reports, right? So what Business Intel has given us the workspace to develop this report, to customize those reports, right? Let's go into this, right? So today's learning objectives are like I will be discussing with the those reports mainly on the inventory, sales and purchases, right? And we will be setting up the analysis views and understanding the each parameters, each field meanings and its purpose, right? All right, so after this session, the participants, the audience will be able to create those analysis report in the system and use the dimension onto it and drill down the data to the last record and analyze the data, right? All right, so today's agenda starts with the understanding the needs for the analysis. Then we have the understanding analysis types, which Business Central has provided us. Then we will be creating the analysis line template, then column layout, then executing the reports, right? Uh, all right. Then yeah, then need for the analysis. Yeah. So sales manager requires to analyze their sales data, their gross profit and other like sales by the salesperson, their department wise sales and other indicators, right? So we will see how we can what Business Central has given us to analyze these things, right? Similarly, purchasers also requires the to analyze the purchase volumes, the vendors performances and purchase prices, right? And similarly, obviously inventory is there, inventory turnover analysis and statistics on the inventory value, the total sales, sales versus purchases, the gross margins, sales by some parameters, right? So we will be analyzing those today. All right, so here let's first start with the analysis types, right? Now these analysis types are the parameter, the beautiful parameter which Business Central has given us, right? So let me explain you the meaning and the purpose of each and every field here, right? So the first field is code. Code, like you can name any unique code and its name, right? Then we have the value type, right? Value type is related to the field on the item ledger entry on which we want to do the analysis, right? And and that and the item ledger entry type filter is the filter applied on that, right? And let's look into the first field, right? It is COGS, right? So if you want to do the analysis on the cost of goods sold, right, then we need to apply the filter of sales on the item ledger entry and not equal to the revaluation on the value entry, right? So this will give us the complete data of related to the sales only, right? Now this the this the these analysis types which you are seeing here, uh, uh, you can create it as many as manually, no issues with that. But what Business Intel has given us is these are by default in the system. What you need to do is you just need to click on the reset default analysis types, right? When you click on it, this list will automatically pop up here. This is just one time activity you have to do, and besides this you can also create more analysis types, right? So in the value type, as we can see, we have the options of options of the quantity, the sales amount, cost amount, non-inventoriable amount, unit price, standard cost, indirect cost. So it has given all the values related to the item, right? And after that we can apply the filter on item ledger entries, right? Paul, am I going fast or slow or okay? Is it good?
Yeah, we're okay. We're good.
All right, great. All right, so value type, we have these options, right? And consider this as a like a parameter, like on a parameter set on which you can apply your filters and define it and define it and give it as a one name, right? So this is the analysis, and this is the important thing in analyzing the sales purchase analysis, right? Sales purchase and inventory analysis, right? Okay, now coming to the analysis line template, right? I'm starting with first with the sales, right? So here we have is the list of sales line template, right? This is quite similar to account schedules, right? In account schedules, we usually perform the analysis over the GL accounts, right? And using the dimension slicing and dicing, right? But here we system has given us the facility of analyzing the item ledger entries, right? And through the its sources like your customers, your vendors, customer groups, or item groups, right? We will come to that also. All right, so sales analysis line template. This is just a name given to this is just a name all customer and all customers. When you click on lines, right, it will open this workspace, right? So here system has given the option of extracting the direct list from the customer. All customers can be extracted here, right? And if you want to select some customers or some um, special customers or the for which you want to perform the analysis, you can create it one by one, right? then then there are the, uh, the then there are some formatting parameters like bold, italic, the similar to account schedules. The bold, italic, underline, and the show and hide thing, and show opposite sign, or this the dimension filter is the dimension totaling filter is there, right? then then we have this option. See, here we can directly insert the items, customer, item groups, item customer groups, and salesperson, and renumbering these trees, right? We will come to that, right? Yeah, and as you can see here in the last line, I have applied the formula like totals of customer from I have renumbered the things and then applied the formula there, right? And yeah, so this is how the list pops up, right? And when you click OK, it automatically comes up in your workspace, right? There, these are the options available for the type, the items, item group, and the customer group, and vendor, salesperson, and formula here, right? These are the type field options available. All right, now in the system we do not have the item group or a customer group. What Business Central says it is like it has given us you can define any dimension, any group dimension for item and for customers, right? It has given us a space for for customers. It has given us the customer group dimension, this customer group, right? And similarly salesperson dimension. So system Business Central analyzes the data on the basis of dimension and our sales data, right? It doesn't matter we have defined the customer groups there, right? Or not, we can in fact in between change our customer groups, right? It's all the dimension thing, right? Analyzing by the dimensions, right? So uh, yeah, so when you define the customer group code dimension here, system consider this dimension values as a customer, as a customer group values, right? Similarly, salesperson dimension which you have defined here, system consider those values as a salesperson group values, right? Yeah, as you can see here, the customer groups, these are dimensions. This range you can see large, medium, small. These are dimensions. There is nothing a group field tagged on the customer card. It is nothing like this. It is just a dimension there. Like similarly, we have the salesperson dimension, right? So what we do is we just create our analysis lines, right? And we perform the analysis, right? So this is defining the sales lines, right? Analysis lines, right? Okay, and similarly we have the dimensions. Like we can define the dimension here. Like what I've done here is I have taken the all the customers uh, with the admin dimension code totaling, so it will apply the filter while executing the report. All right, now this was row part, right? This was one section. Now coming to the column section, Business Central has given us analysis column templates. Here it's just a name and a description. Now here comes the use of our analysis types, right? So here what I have done here is I have let me explain the meaning of each field, right? So column number, like we can fill it any unique code, right? And then we have the column header, the name which we want to display while running the report. Then we have this boolean of invoice, right? If we check mark this, then it will only include the values which are invoiced, right? Right now, as you can see in the column S1, I have considered only the sales data from the posted sales shipment for the sales for which invoice has not been done yet, right? Now in the second column S2, I have the sales invoiced, right? So this will include the data from my posted sales invoice, right? And in the column type, we have the net change. Then in the ledger entry, I have item ledger entries, right? Then in the analysis type, in analysis type for sales, I have taken the sales amount. I want to display the sales amount, right? Similarly, uh, in the sales invoice, a sales amount, right? Now similarly, I have the sales quantity, right? So here I have selected the analysis types as quantity. Now as you can see here, system will filter out the item ledger entry data using this analysis code while executing this report, right? Now in the next column S3, I've just added up the S1 and S2 just to calculate the sales of sales for the current period, right? Then we have the sales last year. Yeah, sales last year is similar to sales, but what I have done here in order to calculate in order to get the data for the previous year, what I've done is I have used the comparison date formula -1y, which will fetch the data of the previous year, right? Then similarly fetching the quantities from the previous year, right? Then we have the variance. It's just a formula, right? S3 divided by S4 -1, right? Yeah, and obviously we can do the show and hide, the showing the data in the opposite sign. This all can be done, right? Right now, I have done this, and I have designed this another analysis columns. This is I have named it as a profit, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm analyzing the profit by sales and cost of goods sales, right? So here the sales amount and cost of goods sold amount, right? It will give me the gross profit margin, right? Yeah, so this is and after this I've just applied the formulas there, right? Now coming to this sales analysis report. This sales analysis report is the combination of this rows and column, and we have just given it as a name, right? Let's say we have this all customers. So the all customer line template which I defined just before, I add it up here, and I've combined this with this sales, right? So when I will execute this report, the system will give me data in uh, when I will click on edit analysis report, right, system will open up this window, right? As you can see here, there are not much filter here, right? So I've just clicked on this show metrics thing, right? And when I click on show metrics thing, this is how system displays the data, right? As you can see for the customer C1, I have this data sales shipped but not invoiced amounting this, and then sales invoice, right? So and sales and then we have the sales quantity, then the total of sales, right? So this all can be displayed. This is all displayed here, and you can drill down to the records, to the main records from here itself, right? And yeah, you can extract this in open by clicking on just page and open in Excel. System will give you the good format. Excel is the most preferred format for the reports for the majority of the organizations, right? So Excel works always. Yeah, open in Excel, so it will give us the data in this format, right? Now yeah, now drilling down to the records, if I click on this sales invoiced, right? So if I click on this, system will give me all the sales ledger entries, applying the filter of this is just customer ledger entries from the post invoiced data, right? And here are the filters, right? Item ledger entries, sales, source, this, and customer, right? Because see, as you can see here in the source number, customer filter is already being applied, right? So this is how it works. Then Then we have is the like if you don't want to preview the report and directly want the Excel extract, right? So when we can directly click on create a new document, it will directly give us the Excel extract, right? Then we have the sprint option. As we just saw in the analysis report, we did not have any option of filtering the customized date filter, right? Adding the customized date filter, right? So here when we click on related and reports and print, right, it will open up this options, right? So here I have the option of applying my required date filter here, right? Otherwise, in the analysis report, I had a filter of either by day, week, or a month, or a quarter, or a year, or accounting period, right? So this is how I can make good use of it by applying my required date filter. And also, yeah, here you can apply your dimensions filter, your global dimension filters down there, as you can see. Then yeah, this is in the some presentable format, right? So it works always. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, I've changed the filter to 2020. So this will give me the my gross my profit report by this, right? These are the reports which I created. Let me show you one by one. Yeah, so this is the yearly sales by the customer group, right? So as you can see, the system, I'm using the same column layout with the different column lines, right? And I'm giving it a name and adding the records in the sales analysis report, right? So this, and obviously you can drill down the data to the last record anytime. And yeah, this is gross profit margin and gross profit percentage by the customer group. Uh, and this is by the salesperson, right? The yeah, so this is by the salesperson, and the data format is same, right? Again, you can extract this in the Excel anytime. Yeah, this is the again the gross profit margin and gross profit by the salesperson. Then we have this by the sales by the department, right? See, I'm using the same column layouts, right? Sales by the departments, right? And then I have the again the gross profit by the department, right? So this is how you can design your and then slice and dice and do the analysis on the sales data, right? Now coming to the inventory analysis, right? Let me show you how to create the inventory analysis reports, right? Okay, so again, we have this analysis line templates, right? I have just named it all items, right? So when I click on lines, system again gives me this blank workspace. So system gives me the option of inserting up the records directly from the system, right? Insert item or insert items groups, right? Similarly, group codes, customer group dimension codes are defined in the sales and receivable setup. Similarly, item groups are also defined in the inventory setup there, right? So I have done those also. Let me show you those also. So inserting the items, right? So just as I click on insert item, system just popped up the window showing all the list of items there, and I selected it and I clicked OK there. So system popped up this, right? Now uh, now as you can see, the row reference number system is showing the items real number, but right, but I do not want these numbers, right? I want my customized number. So system has given the facility of renumbering the lines, right? What I have to do is I have to just select all the items there, and I have to click on the functions and renumber lines there. Then when clicking on this renumber lines, right, system will give me the system option window, the request page, where I need to enter the start row reference number, right? So as you can see, I have entered the 10 there, right? Now system will, as I click OK, system will automatically renumber all the items there, right? Okay, this is how it looks like, right? And again, we have the formatting options there, right? Totaling option is there. Formula we can apply anywhere in the system, right? Then Then I have the item group dimension code. Again, see here what I've done is I have taken the area as my uh, item group dimension code. Right now, uh, what business central require is system understands the system does not directly understands the group dimension code from by defining here itself, right? What system require is system require analysis view to be created, including which includes the item group dimension code, right? What I've done here is I've defined a simple inventory analysis view here, right? And I've just kept on its automatic update, and I've just entered the area as a dimension. So what system requires? System requires your item group dimension code to be included in your one analysis view, and that analysis view to be tagged on the inventory analysis line template, right? Okay, so uh, we will come to that also, right? So inventory analysis view here, as you can see, right? And let me edit it, right? So I have done just all the items I have taken here, and I haven't added nothing here, right? Now, if I click on insert item groups, right? System will add now for system, as of now for system, item groups are the area dimension, right? When I click on this insert item group, system will pop up the window of showing the this area dimension values, right? And it will insert it here, right? So now your dimensions are being converted into item groups, right? With the same codes, right? Now uh, again, you can use the operators and formatting thing here, and you can apply the more filters over it using the department and customer groups, right? So this was regarding the inventory analysis line templates, right? Now coming to again the columns, the second part, right? It is more of a similar to this sales for part, right? So here what I've done is I have defined the sales net change and the sales amount there, and then I have the sales quantity, right? The quantity figure, then I have the cost, the total cost amount, and then unit cost there, then unit price, and then gross margin, right? This is my analysis column for the gross margin, right? Now next I have is a monthly sales, right? Now what I've done here is I have made a good use of the comparison period formula. As you can see here in my comparison period formula here, right? I have my fiscal year one, it means January, right? So it will display the data for the January, right? Right, and I have used here the sales amount, right? So this is how you can perform your monthly sales. Similarly, you can perform your quarterly sales or half yearly comparison. These formulas are similar to your account schedule. The same way it applies here also, right? Now coming to the next column, right? I have the yearly sales. Now in this column I have done the comparison of the sales for the previous 2 years, right? Similarly, you can do the comparison for a number of years. I have updated here the comparison date -1, right? For n -2y, right? Okay, so and I've given the name as a sales 2021 and 22 and 19, right? And I've used the same sales amount there, right? Similarly, I've created the monthly purchase columns, right? And here I have used the analysis type, and you can see here the the way Business Central has used this analysis types code is brilliant, right? You can combine, you can perform any analysis over your item ledger entries just using the operators and using their field names, field values, right? And now I have here the sales versus purchase comparison for 2 year, right? So for purchases 2020, I have done -1y here, then the purchases, then the cost amount, right? Then similarly, sales 2020, the net change item ledger entries, then -1y, then the sales amount, and uh, right, and then formula, right? So just subtracting it, right? Invoicing feature is brilliant one. Like if you want to perform the analysis over invoice entry, or just shipment and receipt entries, we can do the analysis from here itself, right? I All right. Now for similarly for 2021 year, I have defined the um, my columns right here, and then here are the things which I have defined, right? The sales by the sales by yearly sales, right? The gross margin, then sales versus purchase. I have defined this for items also, and for the groups also. Let me show you the data result right here. Okay, so here I have the item list, right? And I'm comparing the sales, right, for the previous 2 years, right? As you can see here, system is displaying me the data for sales of 2021 and 2020, right? And for 19, I don't have the data in this system, right? So it is showing just blank, right? And yes, you can drill down the data directly from here itself, right? All right, so similarly, I have this gross margin by the items, right? And yeah, this is it, right? Okay, then the sales versus purchase comparison. Sales versus purchases for the items, right? Purchases for the year 2020 and the sales for the 2020, and then margin, right? So yeah, you can analyze your data in this way, right? And then I have the monthly purchases. As you can see, this is for by default. Again, the by default system runs the data for the current year, right? Now if you want to perform the analysis for some previous year data, then you need to go to this report part where you get the option of manually entering the date filter, right? And other filters, right? Okay, so then I have the monthly sales but for the items, right? Then I have the gross margin by the item groups. Now as you can see here, the system is displaying me the data. The values which you are viewing here are nothing but area dimension values, right? So here directly you can analyze your data, right? Okay, so drilling down the data, I got this, and here as you can see in the dimension, I have this filter of this 70 code as a filter, right? Here itself, right? And inventory analysis view code. See here, system fetches your analysis view code here, right? And if you do not define the analysis view code, your analysis report will not run at all, right? So this is how it works in the business central, right? And yeah, yearly margin comparison by the item groups, right? And yeah, yearly margin comparison by the item groups, again the monthly purchases by the item groups. So this way you can perform your analysis for your using your analysis types and perform the analysis over your item ledger entries, right? Okay, so this was it. All right, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, cool,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Shailender.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. I mean, the session is right in terms of reporting. We have session that is really, coming from basic setup, posting groups, jobs, etc.
Yeah.
Um, but this one is really on the reporting side, and I think this is like a connection between whatever we have, talking since last day or last night. So yeah, so right now I'm checking this currently this chat box. So if you have question, you just post it here. But yeah, Shalander, I have questions.
Yeah, please.
So technically, the analysis views in Dynamics 365 Business Central is very important, right? What do you think are the crucial setup for you to be able to capitalize on using this analysis views? Because as you mentioned, and of course based on our experience, is it's really crucial that the dimensions are correct, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so first of all, the analysis completely depends upon the organization. You better dimensions you define for your system, and better analysis you will get. What I have done and what Business Central has given us is in respect of analysis view code is just it is analyzing the item ledger entry using the dimension. Right? If you have your dimension properly defined, you can do the analysis. Right? This is the key.
Cool, cool. In
Oh,
terms of it, go, yeah, go ahead. Do you have other comments with that?
yes, actually, this dimension definition, defining the dimension can provide you better analytical view of certain transaction and certain analysis against that particular transaction, as
Yeah.
Shailender said.
Yeah. Yeah, so earlier we used to struggle with the reports over the item ledger entries, right? And this inventory analysis view came in I think 2013 or 16, right? And after that it has evolved so much, right? So when this thing came in, the reporting requirements reduced. Now as you can see here, it is quite simple. The department controller itself can create the reports, right? They just need to know the few ledger entries there and the dimension, right? And they can save
With
their, yeah, and they can save their records, and whenever they require it, just run it and give the reports to the managers, and yeah.
without drilling into the transaction from directly by dimension set ID which has been created, directly they can pull out the report. These reports are predefined reports for analytical views, and
Yeah.
these the user who is available in the sales department or purchase department, he
Yeah.
can define the report view. After that, what type of analysis view they want, they can select the view and they can run the report, so they will get a complete data of that
Yeah.
particular report for the
Yeah.
particular period.
Yeah.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, I think Cyram here is also nodding his head, saying yeah. So yeah, so Shailender, in
Yeah.
terms of like having a particular analysis view in Dynamics 365 Business Central. Of course, you showed sales, etc. What else? What analysis views are there in terms of using that as a standard reporting tool and not anymore, but not really anymore, but in terms of like not utilizing other tools like Power BI, etc. So is there any any other like useful views, analysis views in inside Business Central?
Yeah, analysis views are there that are for the chart of accounts, right? For accounting purpose, right? That has like this analysis view. Whenever we say analysis view in Business Central, right, it is generally considered as the analysis on the GL accounts, right? GL accounting entries, right? But this inventory analysis is something different, right? This is performing the analysis on your item ledger entries, and that to the on item ledger entry itself, there are so much of fields, there is so much of data on the item ledger entry itself, and system is giving you the facility of analyzing those data using your dimension by your customers, by your vendors, by your salesperson, by your department, right? So this reduced the requirement of the creating the customized report. Earlier we used to struggle when in the 2009, right? So there we used to customize the reports like previous comparison sales, like monthly sales, right? So we used to customize the data. Now it is just handy. It doesn't take more than 5-10 minutes to just to build a report and get it extract in the Excel, right? So other than this analysis view, I don't think there are other things there in the system, right?
Okay, cool, 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 cool. Challenge.
Yeah,
Is there yeah,
Paul, one more thing I can say according to your
go
question.
ahead.
According to the Shailender, which is accounting part, its account schedules are available as well as purchase level analysis views are available. We can create as a Shailender explained, and for the
Yeah.
sales also we can create particular analysis views, and they can analyze the purchases for the particular period of time, as well as per particular salesperson or purchases code, as well
Yeah.
as these analysis views can be utilized inside account schedules, where financial user will create a account schedule and they can analyze using analysis view. Definition of
Yeah.
analysis view purely
Yeah.
depends on four type of dimensions which we need to input as a view. At that point of time, according to the definition of analysis view, it will give you the particular reporting.
Yeah. So, analysis views are like they have some limitation. That's why we have the account schedules, right? And when you go to the account schedule, you get a more open space to play around, right? There you can create different types of reports and perform the analysis, right? And now, what Microsoft has done is Microsoft has by default given us the facility of automatically creating the account schedules, like likewise the cost accounting account schedule by default system creates it, right? So so looking at it, just looking at it, the business controller can understand. This is how easy it is, right? Looking at the default created account schedules, the department controllers can understand how it has created the report, and same way they can create the report themselves, right? So this helps, this builds up the confidence of the end user, right, who uses the business central, like, yeah, whatever I'm doing it, I am able to view my data, I'm able to analyze the data. So this is a beautiful feature, right? Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's really cool. In terms of Business Central as a all-in-one system in
Yeah.
terms of reporting as well,
Yeah.
and extending that to later on in terms of dashboard
Mm,
through Power BI,
mm,
etc. Right?
yeah.
Shailender, how about being able to extract analysis views in Excel? How do you what are you gonna say about that? Is that
Yeah.
really good feature of Business Central?
See, it is
uh,
good. Yeah, go ahead, please, Shrikant.
Yeah, this is a very good
Will.
feature according to the analysis view, without involving the developer inside the system. Means without developer access, directly user can, as a functional level or a user level, he himself can analyze the view, and he can design few basic part of reporting and what is my value. According to that particular analysis view, he can design his own report. It's a basic part, and he can pull out the report with particular values for the particular period. So he can analyze for this period this much sale is there, and what will be the next phase of analysis. Best example, if you go into inventory ledgers, if you give a dimension with the inventory posting group or inventory related combination in the dimension, he can analyze for this particular category how much sale has happened. For this particular category, what is my sale, what is my sale for the particular period. So he can build next sales analysis in the future analysis. This is my target, this is my target build of this particular value.
Yeah, and
Hello.
yeah, yes, Iram, we are here. Yeah, and Paul, I have seen this thing, right? Re- Related to the account schedules reporting, right? The financial controllers require the data in some in some presentable format, right? So this is still being missed in the business central, right? So what I am expecting, like, we, see, they have given us Power BI, that is separate product, right? But when it comes to, like, let's say monthly monthly chart of account I need, right? Monthly balance sheet chart of account I need, right? And I need in a in a single landscape format, right? So I cannot extract this from the business central. I recently faced this requirement from I recently got this requirement from one of my client, right? And due to this, because of this, he has to search for some different reporting product, right? And in that case, BI Power BI also fails this thing, right? So performing the analysis, right? and and in a presentable format, presentable format word is being missed. I'm expecting this to be like from the Microsoft in the future coming years, they might give us some facility of extracting this thing, right? Otherwise, what we have to do is we have to extract in the Excel, then delete some of the column and perform the same activity again and again. So this is some of the like time consuming or tedious activities, right? Due to which the clients sometimes lose the confidence, right? They think that business central is such a good product we have heard of, right? But it cannot extract the what do we say, the data in the presentable format, right? So for that presentable format we have to go to Excel, then do the add and subtraction, then take out the print, right? So this is something being missed. What do you say, Paul, Sairam, other people's, please?
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
cannot
yeah.
comment on this particular point. Why? Because according to the customer view, if in the market hundreds of customers are available inside the market, everyone
Mm-hmm.
cannot view and everyone cannot say this particular report should be in this format. So Microsoft, I cannot suggest this is a wrong format or wrong way. Why? Because according to the view of the client, he will change his requirement. Best example,
Mm-hmm.
if we are going to develop a report, okay, after 2 days or 3 days, if you are not going to sign off the requirement analysis, okay, he can change
Mm-hmm.
the product, he can change the reporting view. That is for sure. So I cannot argue on this point, or I cannot point Microsoft on this particular reporting level.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future there will be coming up more as per Microsoft plan. There are many things are going to come up. Hope this will be a very best product in the market right now, and hundreds of customers, thousands of customers are coming into picture by looking at business central. Most of the
Yeah.
large scale industries also looking into business central now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sairam, agree,
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, in terms of, I think Rio has a comment here. Yeah, I agree that, these tools, third-party tools are, created for us to enhance. Even, Power
Yes.
Platform nowadays is very helpful for us to be able to infuse some of the features that we need for reporting purposes. Even, AI Builder is very important aspect as well for us to be able to do some, let's say, receipt or invoice prediction, or invoice going to Business Central, etc., etc. So yeah, I think the point here of um, the speaker is really like utilizing analysis views for, and for me it this is a very basic, right, Sharon? It's
Yeah.
really very
Yes.
basic. Because there is like a question here, like not a question, but I don't understand if this is a question or a suggestion. Functional consultant can design the same without help of a technical person. How true is that,
Yes.
Sharon?
Yeah, it's a damn true. Damn true. Yeah, it doesn't require much skill. That once just one training is enough for this functional consultant, right?
And we can train
Okay.
the users also on this, so user can himself handle this particular analysis view, and
Yeah.
whichever the analysis of this reporting, user directly can interact to the system and he can design on his own, so it will be more feasible and flexible to the user to utilize the application.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Rayo,
cool.
yeah, so Rayo entered one comment that no need BC license and can be in source without having too much BC knowledge. Agree. Analysis view, analysis by dimension, account schedule, FNO don't have which are yeah, it is, yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct. That's correct.
yeah.
Ryu, do you have any like comment? You can open your mic if you want to like suggest or
Yeah,
add to this
please.
discussion.
Are you saying that the BI?
No, the second comment. No,
Which one?
the comparison with the FNO finance, that the account schedule
Yeah,
we have
actually,
in the business center.
I've been for working Naban X for 20 years. Of
Yeah.
course, it's on pros and cons. Either product really wonderful, but the best things for the business center is really designed for the SMB. A one consultant or one SI, a person can implement everything And sometimes, techno function can do the everything, including the customization. So that's the biggest difference compared to FO. I can do everything in a business central, but talking about the finance and operation project, I still need two more applications to complete the project without having the customization. So if any customization necessary, I need more teams. So I think that's the biggest difference and appeared in the pricing
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah, totally agree with you. And see, I, I was just we were just discussing regarding the presentable format, right? So you know the landscape format for directly like just previewing the report and directly extracting in a landscape format is still being missed in the business central. I'm expecting from the like from Microsoft to give us some ways, right, so that we can get the confidence of the customers, right? Otherwise what we have to do, we have to go to this separate reporting products, right, whether it is jet or power bi or so. So this format, yeah, and definitely it's true that format requirement completely depends upon the customer. Microsoft is like they cannot fulfill every requirement, but it can give us some um, m- enhancement. I would say they have given us way, but they can give us more enhancement to this, right? Yeah.
I think
So
probably that the Microsoft pushing the more power platform to be insourced by the users. And
yeah,
also, remember that Power BI have a leader position in the Magic Quadrant right now. So I think more enhancement and improvement will be done in the Power BI side. So better to go on the Power Platform, and also Jet Reports and Jet Analytics gonna be much help to
yep.
build even in the Power BI. So I think as a consultant suggestions, then why not go Power Platform to be insourced by the users to make the digital transformations? Because always asking the consultant in the outsourcing is not good for the company. So everybody can do the development next 10 years. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's better to
Cool.
start.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are
Thank
more.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Ray.
All right. So yeah, so I was just saying that yeah, Microsoft is focusing on power platforms. Recently they have introduced the premium bi license, right, and some ai analytics thing, right? So let's hope more from the power bi, right, and whatever it is in the business central, we have to make good use of it, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. This is a very cool discussion, right? You,
Yeah,
Sairam, and also Shailender. I really love, Power Platform plus Business Central plus the standard tools that we can use. But I think we need to have a coffee break so we can
yeah,
chill
sure.
out. And yeah. So thank you,
Thanks
Shail.
everyone.
Thank you
It
for
was
the
great.
great presentation. Yeah, if just have a favor, bro, if you have LinkedIn, of course, and Twitter, please copy paste that to our chat box so we can follow you.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So yeah, so I think we're gonna have